all that fun shit.
We're gonna do the stream over Skype.
Of course.
Oh, I'm just so used to doing them over live
Oh,
Hangouts
oh
or
yeah, yeah. Or,
yeah.
doing it on the Google Hangouts. Yeah. See,
Yeah.
well, I actually downloaded OBS, which lets me stream Skype calls. It's pretty easy. Wow, and it opens up with an ad for me. Good. Well, that means then I can mute it because I don't give a shit about the Xbox S. There we go. Let me just make sure that we do have audio. In fact.
Oh, I'm just so used to doing.
Okay. Yeah. We are all set there. So anyway, everybody, welcome. The show itself is scheduled to start at 8, so we still got about 5 minutes. David and I can just kind of shoot the breeze before we really kick off the show proper. Anyway, David, what's new with you?
Oh, great! It's fun. It's been a while since I've been on a stream that people have watched.
Yeah, right now we're up to 9 viewers. That's always cool. That actually is a little bit higher than most of my normal like pre-show things. Like normally, like I'm doing like the pre-show to like 3 people. Never mind now, and now we're up to 12. Awesome. You guys all fucking rock.
Everyone's just so excited to see you stream with me.
Yeah. See now. Oh, now I guess I guess I should mention this. I actually was going to stream last week. And then, and this is just so weird. Like Friday fucking morning, I just started feeling sick, like fucking like sick as shit. And then I had to message David like Friday afternoon or Friday night, and I canceled. Or no, wait, it was Friday morning because I said I was feeling that terrible. The stream probably isn't gonna happen. So I kind of felt bad about canceling the stream last fucking minute, like that. But hey, we are here now, and that is what really matters. So how is everything at fucking work, David? So
It's going okay, but do you have an Amazon Echo?
no, I don't. Why?
I have a tap, and you can request to do really weird things. Ask for a fart.
What the fuck was that?
One of the amazing things. I got this amazing piece of technology, and I ask it to do that.
You have a fucking Amazon Echo, and you ask it to fart for you.
Yes.
Interesting. Oh, well, I mean, I guess that's better than what most people do when they have a fucking, like iPad for the first time they start dicking around with Siri.
Yeah, that's all this really is. It's just Siri, but in a speaker.
In a speaker and in like a small tube. By the way, did I ever happen to tell you the really fucked up thing that happened once when I was playing around with Siri the first time I got my iPad?
No, I don't believe you have.
Okay, so I wanted to see like what kind of fucking like responses would come up under certain circumstances. So I randomly said I have a fucking drug fucking problem, and it immediately gave me directions to a treatment center. Really cool shit. That is awesome. If you happen to have a problem, it's always good for your tablet to tell you exactly where to go. But then I wanted to change it up a bit, and I said, I have a drinking problem. And it gave me directions to the nearest bar. Which I thought was kind of fucked up on Siri's part.
I wonder what would happen if I asked it to Echo. I have a drinking problem. What should I do?
I can't find the answer to the question I heard.
Thanks.
Wow. It's just, I don't know. I just don't know. Fuck you. Wow.
It does that a lot, actually.
So how much is the Echo? Because even though I'm on Amazon a lot, I really don't look into the Echo too much. Isn't that thing like $130?
There's 3 kinds you can get. There's the there's the standard Echo. It's like 180. The Tap, which is what I have, is like 130, and the Echo Dot is like 50.
And what's the... Okay, now, I do know that the Dot's like the little fucking tiny-ass one. But what the hell is the Echo Tap? What is that just like a... Like,
It's basically a portable Echo. It does the exact same thing an Echo does, except it's not like voice controlled. You have to tap a button in order to activate it. Whereas with Echo, you just go, Alexa, what's the weather like?
oh, okay, all right, awesome, cool. And it is now 8 o'clock. Let me kick it over to the proper shooting the shit logo. And I guess we should start with something that you wanted to talk about, something that you brought up in a recent video. So, how exactly did you stumble onto a site which sells exotic meat and testicles?
Well, I think I was probably just like looking up videos of people eating weird stuff, and one of the videos I was watching had a link to that site. And as I said in the video, I was just looking through, and I could see you could buy testicles. So I bought a pair for an old friend of mine, and I was talking to Al about it, and I said, Al, would you consider eating testicles from a yak? And he's like, no, Dave, I don't think I would. And I said, come on, what if I paid you? He goes, how much? I said, 150.
And did you specify yak because of like the sheer size of yak nuts, or is?
Well, I sent a link to the site to Al, and I told him to pick his animal.
Oh Jesus!
Because I just told him I would send him testicles, but I didn't tell him. I told him he could choose the animal, and he chose yak. So he's gonna make a video where he like cooks one and eats one for 150, and then he's gonna take a bite out of a raw one for another 150.
Jesus.
Because yak testicles, when they're raw, they have like this membrane over them. It's like rubber. So he has to like bite through this rubbery like membrane just to take a bite out of a raw testicle.
Sounds absolutely magical. I mean, just wow. And I just kind of find it weird that he actually was able to select an animal. It's like, it's like, oh yeah, I want to have yak. I want to have yak nuts. Just.
Well, I think they also had like bull and bison and
probably
couple
like
of
moose and other such large scale animals. Is like, I have always wondered what the hell ever like convinced people to want to just feast on testicles. It's like, out of all the parts of a fucking animal, why the testicles?
Well, I was talking to Al the other day when we were talking about our little deal, and he was telling me about how he went and talked to somebody who's tried testicle, and Al was like, oh, they told me that testicle tastes like fried bologna and pate, so I might actually like it. And I'm like, dude, I don't care if it tastes like a pepperoni pizza. You're still eating a damn testicle.
You are still eating something's nuts. That's just, ugh. And goddamn bologna. Yeah. I'm sorry, I've never been one for bologna personally. So it's like that just doesn't help much.
Well, he said fried bologna.
Well, fried bologna's, I guess, a little bit. So wait, so does like a raw testicle taste like fried bologna? That sounds fucked up, dude.
No, he said a cooked testicle.
Okay, a cooked testicle. Well, I mean, if a cooked one tastes like fried fucking bologna, then probably a raw one will just taste like, regular, bologna.
Well, if you look at like what a yak testicle looks like, if you like Google image it, there's like these like swirly red veins that are like very visible that run through it.
So, did you offer to triple it if he, deliberately bites freaking down on one of those veins? You get the vein in the raw, in the fucking like raw bite. I'll throw in a little extra for you.
No, he has to bite because there's so many of them. He can't not bite.
Okay, then it's not like there's like these like big like noticeable veins he could probably like avoid. It's like they're all over the place.
Yeah.
You know, and this is a little bit weird. Like, I have thought about trying exotic, meats, but I've thought about doing it in a slightly more sane fashion. Because we have this place over here. Oh, well, actually, it's over in fucking Appleton. The place is called All Things Jerky. And it literally is a place that sells nothing but jerky. It sells jerky and jerky-making supplies. And amongst the kinds of jerky you can buy, they've got like 35 different kinds of animals. And that's everything from like rattlesnake, buffalo, crocodile, the usual shit like beef, pork, chicken, turkey, like all that's in there. Yeah, but then they've got like all of like the weird shit. You could probably get yak, jerky, probably not made from the testicles, but just
Yes, they're very veiny.
ugh.
I wonder if they have jerky made out of like the Jerky Boys.
Well, I mean, what in the hell have those two been doing anyway? It's like I know one of them is still a regular on Family Guy. And that's Johnny fucking Brennan. I don't know what happened to the other guy from the fucking, Jerky Boys. I actually kind of sort of wish that I knew, because I actually used to listen to the Jerky Boys, like, back in the day.
Did you really?
Yeah. I had the first, like, was it the first 3 albums on tape?
Wasn't there also a Jerky Boys movie?
Yes. It was kind of stupid.
I figured.
They also both appear in the ICP's first movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Or they prank call the ICP or something?
No. Let's see. Johnny, I think, plays a police chief. And the other guy, Kamal, I think was his name. He plays this old guy at a strip club. And he also plays the villains. He plays one of the villains' armed fucking guards. So,
Okay.
like, so, I mean, they actually have real, like, roles.
Academy Award winning stuff.
So, we have a couple of questions here. Do you think the Xbox One S is worth getting just for mods? No, because it still doesn't have any fucking games.
I don't even have a regular Xbox One.
I used to. And I got sick and tired of there not being anything worth fucking playing. So then I got a PS4 and I've been happy ever since.
I cut my ties with Xbox after my 4th Red Ring.
Yeah, that though was on the 360. The One apparently is a bit more stable. It's just, again, no
The
fucking
brand
games.
Xbox.
Yeah, it's just the brand. The brand has been kind of tarnished. So let's see here. What else we got in here for questions? Might as well just scroll up a touch, because we've been talking about the Jerky Boys and testicles for the past, like, 10 minutes.
I love the way you put that.
The Jerky Boys and testicles, tonight on Shootin' the Shit with Emer. What are your thoughts on Saints Row 3 and 4, and are you hoping for Saints Row 5? Have you played any of the Saints Row games, David?
I used to play, I think it was the second one on Xbox Live with you and Nick, but
yeah.
That's the last time I've ever really played it, though.
See, in Saints Row 3, what they basically did is just that they made the game, like, goofier.
Okay.
You know how the second game, it was still kind of serious, but they also had those, like, funnier, like, goofy moments? The third one has far, far more goofy shit and almost nothing serious. The fourth one goes completely batshit by essentially making you the, fucking, like, head of the Saints gang. You are now the president of the U.S.
Oh, awesome.
And aliens show up, and they kidnap you and basically throw you into, like, the Matrix.
Sounds interesting.
And then you generate, like, superpowers, and then it plays less like Saints Row and more like, God, what in the hell was that one game on the 360? Crackdown. Plays a lot like Crackdown, which I thought was pretty good,
So they're making a fifth one?
Apparently. I'm not sure how, since, like, the reason why you're in the Matrix and why you're on a stolen ship once you bust out is because, if I'm not mistaken, Zinyak and the aliens, like, wiped out Earth, and you're kind of sort of all that's left. I believe. It's been a while since I, played it, so. Let's see. Just seeing what else we got in here for questions. What else then has been going on with you, David? Have you gotten to watch any, like, good fucking movies lately or anything?
I got a question for you.
Sure.
Will you ever do a reaction review of Star Trek Beyond?
I might. I actually have thought about it. Especially since because I covered the like, first two, so. And I actually enjoyed those, so I don't really see a problem with me looking at the third one, so.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I liked it.
See, I think, God, what in the hell actually is like the newest movie I watched? Oh yeah, I got around to watching one, but I actually kind of sworn off of talking about it on here because a couple people got really pushy about it when it was in theaters. So fuck them. I'm not going to talk about it. So.
I won't ask you about Ice Age Collision Course. Don't worry.
Okay, well, it wasn't Ice Age Collision Course. I'll tell you that much. God damn, I am still shocked at the fact that they made so many fucking Ice Age films, man.
Well, I heard that this last one didn't do so well, so it might be the last.
Good. Because, let me think. I think I've only seen the first one. And the first one was okay, but it honestly is like one of those things that I look at it and I go, it's decent, but it's not really good enough to warrant a sequel.
Yeah, I went to a drive-in movie once, and it was right after The Dark Knight Rises came out.
Yep.
And around the same time, Ice Age 3, I think, just came out. So I go to this drive-in theater where there's two theaters. One screen was playing Dark Knight Rises, the other was playing Ice Age 3 and the Three Stooges. The parking lot for the Dark Knight Rises was completely full, and the one for Ice Age and Three Stooges had like 10 cars in it.
Well, dude, to be fair, come on. It's the Three Stooges. God damn it, I hated that fucking movie. And it was you who sent it in, didn't you? I mean, I believe you were the one who bought the Three Stooges off of the wish list.
It honestly wouldn't surprise me.
I think. I'm not. It has been so long. God damn it, that movie was so fucking awful.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of it when I was using the restroom at that theater. So to me, I associate that movie with me using the restroom.
Makes sense. Yeah. Let's see. Emer, do you like Boogie 2988? I don't really watch his stuff, so I couldn't tell you. I just happen to know that he's some fat dude that everybody talks about on YouTube. So basically me with more views. So I honestly don't know anything about him outside of every single time that some, every time some fucking baity, controversial thing happens, Boogie speaks up and then everybody says, oh, well, Boogie was talking about this. And that's about as far as my knowledge goes on him.
You with more views. Now you got to start making a bunch of videos about how your life is sad.
Yeah.
And how miserable you are for being fat and do nothing about it.
Now here's sort of the thing. I actually am trying to do something about that, though. It's like, I actually have been losing a little bit of weight, so I am pretty happy with that. Let's see. Thoughts on the YouTube Heroes program amid the many videos on said subject? Well, first of all, I guess I should ask you, David, do you know anything about this YouTube Heroes thing? Because I've been following it a little bit, but...
No, I don't even know what YouTube Red is.
Yeah, YouTube Red apparently is some kind of like a sub. It's apparently like a sub fucking subscription based thing where you can pay to not see ads in your videos, and YouTube will, basically give you like a little bit of money on the. I mean, and if it's like one of your videos that is being watched by someone who has a YouTube Red account, YouTube will throw you a couple cents, going, yeah, sorry, this guy just didn't want to see the ad. Ding.
Yeah, there's just so much new stuff on YouTube now. I can't even keep up with it.
So what? So now what YouTube Heroes is it's this new program that YouTube tried to roll out like week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. Anyway, and a lot of people got pissed, justifiably so, because this whole thing came off as like ridiculously vague. YouTube wanted to put in the system where you got points for doing shit for YouTube. Like for instance, if you saw that a video didn't have like subtitles, you could add subtitles to the video, and then that would gain you points in the YouTube Heroes community. And that sounds fine. YouTube also has like a help section. It's similar to fucking like Google Answers and all of that kind of shit. If you answer questions on there and your answers are voted as the most helpful, then you get points towards your YouTube Heroes, whatever the fuck. And the one thing though that pissed off everybody, because mind you, both of those sound awesome. Subtitles, that's fine. Answering questions, that's great. But then flagging videos.
Oh yeah, I think I've heard about this.
The video started off with, if you flag negative videos, which was so fucking vague it just drove everybody nuts. Then you got points towards your YouTube Heroes shit. Now, what some people don't know, and I believe it was Thunderfoot who mentioned this, is that when it comes to this whole like YouTube Heroes thing, the points which are handed out, you get like 10 points if you answer a question on Google Answers. Again, and it gets picked as like the most helpful answer, yada yada yada. You get like 10 points if you add subtitles to a video. If you flag a video, you only get 1 point. So the crux of it is not flagging videos, but still, a lot of people saw that as a terrible thing, and it fucking is, because YouTube's basically going to try to praise you for having videos flagged and taken down, yada yada yada, which is fucking stupid. All right. Now
Sounds heroic.
Now you see, the big problem though that everyone had was how fucking vague and nebulous the term was in the YouTube Heroes video, because it said flag negative videos, which that could mean fucking anything. A negative video could be negative in tone, just simply saying, "Oh well, I don't like this." Well, that's negative. You can flag that shit. So then YouTube had to change it, and instead of just re-uploading a whole new video in hopes of getting a whole new views, whole new ratings, try to do like a fresh start, they basically put a new video on the exact same URL as the old one, changing that from flagging negative videos to flagging videos that violate YouTube's TOS, violating the terms of service, which sounds reasonable. That one at least makes a touch more sense. It still sounds fucking stupid that you're getting, points for flagging videos, and you use these points to, fucking level up. They've turned this thing into like a fucking game, and at level 3 you can mass flag videos, which
awesome.
is just retarded.
Now you're a real hero.
Apparently.
Be right back. I'm gonna get my pizza real quick.
Sure thing. So anyway, while David's grabbing his pizza, I guess I can give my thoughts on fucking YouTube Heroes. Would have been fine if they didn't put all that flagging bullshit in there. If it was literally just adding subtitles to videos and answering questions and all of this other shit, then it would have been fine, because it would have been you actually helping the fucking community out a little bit. But the fact that they wanted to add all this flagging shit, that completely kills it. So So let me see what else we got in here for questions. YouTube is trying to be G fucking rated. Yeah, that's never gonna happen. YouTube, I think, would have a hard time trying to be PG rated, considering the mountain of content which is on the site. Hey, Emer, you might want to come up with a backup channel if someone gets upset over your videos. Well, see, if somebody honestly tries to take down my channel, oh well, that is why I have the Facebook page. I'll just start uploading videos on there. Fuck 'em. So, at least that's how I see it. Let's see. YouTube is ruined, move to RedTube. Well, I don't know, man. Like, RedTube, I think, would be a hell of a lot better if it had a bit more fucking... If it had a bit more, like, variety. Like, the videos over there get a little bit tiresome over time.
Alright.
Let's see. Welcome back, David.
So what do you think of that debate?
Oh, Jesus Christ, that fucking debate. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to say this right now, our country is fucked. No matter who the hell goes in, our country is fucked for 4 years. I guess, honestly, the question is, how badly do we want to fuck the country?
This will be exciting.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, I hate both of them. I hate Trump, and I hate fucking Hillary. But if I had to pick between the two to be president, goddamn, this almost fucking hurts to say. I would have to go with Hillary. Just because at least she has some kind of background. And even though she's corrupt and criminal and disgusting and a liar and all this other fun shit, so is every other fucking politician on the planet.
Yeah, but at least Trump made Arsenio Hall the winner of a Celebrity Apprentice.
Okay, that honestly...
So he's got that going for him.
That makes me want to vote for him even fucking less. But see, the thing that I wonder when it comes to Trump is... Because I've seen interviews where Trump says that if he is elected, he would run the country like a business. I've seen how the man runs his fucking businesses. I've seen how many times he's filed for bankruptcy and shut down his own fucking businesses. I don't trust the man. I wouldn't trust him to run a fucking lemonade stand, much less a goddamn country. So if my hands are fucking tied and I'm gonna have to pick between Chucklefuck A and Chucklefuck B, then I pretty much almost have to go with Hillary. Now, mind you, we do have alternate options. We do have our two third-party candidates. We have Jill Stein, who, well, let's just be frank here. Jill fucking Stein's out of her goddamn mind.
Yeah, whatever.
And I would not vote for her if my life fucking depended on it. And then there is the Libertarian candidate, Gary fucking Johnson, who would have had my vote if not for one fuck up that he pulled.
Wait, I thought he made two big fuck ups.
What? Wait.
Because recently he was asked to like name
that one too. Yeah, he was asked to name a world fucking leader that he fucking what was it again that he fucking looks up to or that he fucking respects, and he couldn't name one.
Yeah.
God, what a retard. See, now, my one was a few weeks ago. He was being fucking interviewed, and the person asked him what his policy was on, it was on fucking immigration, and what was he going to do to stem the tide of illegal immigrants coming into the country. Which sounds like a really valid question to ask. You know, if you're going to run for president, you should know what you're going to do in terms of illegal immigration. Instead of answering the question, he opted to get into a fucking semantics argument and say, I don't like the term illegal immigrant. I prefer the term undocumented immigrant. And I had to stop for a minute and go, listen up here, fuckhead. They have come into this country illegally. Okay? That means that they are illegal immigrants. Answer the fucking question. And when he finally, when the person who was interviewing him finally said, okay, fine, what exactly would you do to stem the tide of undocumented immigrants? He then basically said he would try to make the path to citizenship easier, which is totally fine. I don't know why he couldn't have just said that in the first place instead of going, oh, well, I don't like the term illegal, immigrant. I'm going to need you to change that.
It's crazy. That guy used to be a governor.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember for what state, because
New Mexico.
New Mexico. Okay. I was about to say, it sure as hell wasn't fucking Illinois, because I don't think he spent time in jail.
No, New Mexico, home state of your friend Samuel to Geek.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He was actually a delegate at the Republican National Convention.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. I'm going to assume he voted for Trump.
I think he's probably going to vote for him. I haven't asked him about it. But he's like, right now he's like on supporting John McCain, because I guess John McCain's rerunning for Senate.
Okay, I was just about to say he sure as hell is not running for president, because they've already picked that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying I should move to Canada. The thing is that as I am going to assume Canada is a very lovely country. It would probably be amazing to live there. But knowing that I'd be in a country that is run by a prime minister as shitty as like fucking Trudeau, I would almost have to fight back. I would almost have to fight back the urge to fucking just go down to fucking Ottawa and just deck him. True. Oh god, he really does just come off as like the biggest dickhead the world's ever seen, and it's all simply because he's a social justice prime fucking minister. Fuck him. Justin fucking Trudeau is fucking cancer, and I cannot wait until he's out of office.
I wonder if there's any relation to Kevin Trudeau.
They actually do look shockingly similar. It would not shock me.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, because Kevin Trudeau's in the Slammer now.
Oh yeah. Because wait, now I am trying to remember what exactly got him in prison. Wasn't it? Was it fucking taxes or was it his shitty books? I'm trying to remember. It's like
I think it might have been both.
Because I know for a fact that he was told to stop publishing his books because his books were a massive like scam, and the government had to like step in and was telling him to stop fucking publishing his books because they were that fucking like destructive.
And he kept publishing them anyway.
Yeah. Well, you see, and then he showed up on his fucking infomercials, and he's like, and the government doesn't, want you to know about all of these programs and all this free money and all these natural fucking cures. And then, oh god, I was actually at Kmart once, back when we still had a Kmart, and they had his first book there that, like, money secrets they don't want you to know about, or whatever the fuck. And I was flipping through the book. Do you know what half of those entries are?
Website links?
Yes. Specifically to his website, where you have to pay like a monthly fee to see all this shit. So it's like 200 pages, but like at least half of them are just, oh, well, you gotta go to my site.
Yeah, I remember he was like really notorious for disguising his infomercials as talk shows.
Yeah. Well, then again, though, like a whole lot of infomercials do that. So I actually happen to remember like one of his fucking last ones though, before he was apprehended. It was for one of his books, but he didn't. But he himself didn't fucking show up in it, and it was because according to the infomercial, the government had banned him from appearing on TV. So it was this long drawn out 30-minute fucking infomercial which was posing as a fucking expose showing why the government is after him, and you'd have all these people who are like, well, I honestly think that he is a great man because he published this book and he told me how I could cure my cancer with something that was in my shell, that was with something else that was like in my pantry, and it worked.
Wow.
It was fucking...
I'm surprised they were allowed to air that on TV.
Oh, dude, it only fucking aired at like 2 a.m. because it was like your usual like infomercial death fucking slot. So, Jesus Christ, just the whole thing was just a fucking disaster. Speaking of shamelessly shilling for shit, since we were talking about Kevin like Trudeau in his books, I noticed that about Hillary though during the fucking debate is I have this fucking book coming out. I have this book. It's coming out Tuesday. Hint hint, wink wink. I talk about a lot of shit in there. Buy my fucking book. Buy my fucking book. You gotta go to my website. You have to go to my website. I fact check everything that Trump says, and he lies about everything. Buy my book. Just.
So Hillary's the female Kevin Trudeau.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll slam her too.
You see, I actually though would compare her more, and DP in the chat just mentioned this guy. Do you happen to remember Matthew fucking Lesko? The guy who dressed like the fucking Riddler?
Cool.
God. Lesko, I thought, was sort of cool. Didn't he also wind up in fucking prison, too?
I don't know. I haven't seen him on TV in ages. I do remember him.
It actually kind of sort of reminded me of that, because every single time that Hillary was, like, getting ready to shill her book or shill her website, all of a sudden, she gained a fucking personality. Like, she was, like, dead-eyed for most of the fucking debate, and then all of a sudden, the talk about the book hits. And it's like, oh my god, my book, you have to buy my fucking book.
Well, are you going to buy her book?
No. I'm not going to buy her fucking book. Are you freaking high?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, I kind of sort of expected that. So, oh man, I really am trying to figure out how the hell did we wind up in this fucking state when it comes to our presidential candidates. I've been thinking about that for quite a while now, and I think I figured out why.
Our standards are low.
Well, yes, but there actually is a bit more to it. It's because our country is loaded with morons. And I'm not saying that to be fucking cute. I'm not saying that as a joke. Because Hillary ran on a platform of, you have to vote for me because I am a woman and it is 2016. That's it. Like, that was her entire platform. Was, you have to vote for me because I am a woman. Which is the stupidest reason you could ever have to vote for anybody, but yet that was her entire platform. Trump basically was on a platform of, hey, come on, I was on fucking TV. You have to vote for me. Basically, the same thing that people used to vote in fucking Reagan back in the 80s is, oh, well, Reagan was in fucking movies. We have to vote for him. Which is also how Schwarzenegger got the fucking, governorship of California. It's all because of fame, and it's bullshit.
I'm actually on Matthew Lesko's Wikipedia right now.
Really?
Apparently, he hasn't come out with any books since 2006.
Really?
And his last book was called American Benefits for Seniors: Getting the Most Out of Your Retirement.
Wow.
He is 73 years old, so that could be a reason why you don't see him on TV that much.
Could be.
Because he's getting Alzheimer's.
Could be.
Maybe he's using his own book, trying to get the most out of his retirement.
Could be. That is very, very easy fucking possible, man. So let's see what else we got in here for comments or questions. Anything else sort of jumping out? Not fucking really. I'm just not really seeing a whole lot of new stuff. Just a lot of people are sort of jumping on a fucking troll who was in the chat, so.
Maybe Alexa can ask us a question. Ask us a question.
Sorry, I didn't understand the question I heard.
Alexa is sort of slow, isn't she?
Yeah, she's not exactly a genius.
Well, then again, though, I mean, it is one of those things which is supposed to fucking learn, so.
It's a slow learner, apparently.
Could be. Let's see.
What's the weather like in Green Bay?
It's actually kind of chilly.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh, I actually wasn't sure if you were asking me or if you were asking fucking Alexa.
I could ask Alexa.
Go for it. Let's just see this.
What is the weather like in Green Bay, Wisconsin?
Currently, in Green Bay, Wisconsin, it's 59 degrees with showers. You can expect more of the same tonight, with a low of 56 degrees.
Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate.
Finally, little Alexa got something right. So did you hear about the Google Home?
The what?
The Google Home? It's to be like a big competitor against the Alexa.
So, wait. So, God. Okay, I kind of have to ask, how the fuck many of these stupid things are we going to need?
I don't know.
Because we have Siri, and we have Alexa, and we have fucking Cortana, we got Google Home, we got... Jesus. Just...
Well, they're trying to make the smart home the next big thing.
Oh, here we go. Somebody has finally asked about this. Aren't you tired of hearing about the national anthem protests? Yes, I am. Very much so. David, I am kind of curious. What exactly are your thoughts on the whole national anthem protest thing where, people are kneeling for the anthem instead of standing, or they just, are they fucking remain seated or whatever the fuck they want to do? What are your thoughts on this?
People need to stop whining. It's just a song. The song isn't that good anyway. I don't care. They should make the national anthem "Living in America" by James Brown. That's a song we could all stand to.
That, I think, would be pretty cool. But, you see, now, right here is sort of my argument, is every time I hear people talk about this, I hear people talk about how, Kaepernick's this horrible person because he's taking a fucking knee for the anthem in fucking protest. I want to say this right now. Every single one of these protests I've been hearing about, these people who are kneeling or sitting or turning their fucking back to the flag, whatever the fuck they do during the anthem, their fucking reasoning is stupid. However, I am not going to say that they are wrong, and this is why. Because the U.S. is a country founded on freedom, alright? This country was founded on the principle that you have the freedom to do what you want. As long as it's within legal, limitations. Since there's no law dictating what has to be done when the national anthem is played, who cares? If you want to stay seated, then stay seated. If you want to take a knee, take a knee. If you don't want to take your hat off, who cares? It's the fucking national anthem. You have the right to do what you want. Now, right here is the big argument I've been hearing from people who are completely against this. I've noticed most of them are right-wingers, conservatives, yada, yada, yada. But they basically say that it is that when you don't stand for the anthem, it is a horrible, horrible disgrace, and it's a horrible disservice to all those people who fought for our country. And to that I say no. Because they fought for our freedoms. That, honestly, is what these retards keep on belting out about every single time they want to use these troops as their fucking crutch and their shield to answer everything. Is that they fought for our freedoms. Now, that does not mean the freedoms that you and only you are comfortable with. That means that they fought for your freedoms. Your freedoms. That means if you don't want to stand for the anthem, they fought so you had that choice. They fought so you had the choice to stand, sit, kneel, or just flip, or just flip the finger at the fucking flag. You have that choice. You have that freedom to make that choice, and all of these soldiers fought and died so that way you had that choice. The fact that people want to essentially trivialize the deaths of all of these soldiers by somehow saying that you don't have the right to make your own choices in a country that's all about choice, that's fucking sick.
I bet those conservative commentators really hate crippled people.
Oh, see, I honestly have seen on Facebook, like, a lot of people who will show, like, photos of, like, of a fucking vet who lost his friggin' legs in Vietnam, or he lost his legs in Desert fucking Storm, lost his legs in combat. And he will stand on his stumps in his chair when the anthem plays. That's totally, that is totally awesome. And that is what he wants to do. That is what this vet wants to do. If that vet chose to not do anything and just stay seated as the anthem plays, that also would have been fine. I am just saying, guys, that our country is and always has been about freedoms. And the fact that people are bitching because there are people out there who wish to exercise these freedoms, that just drives me nuts. Because it shows that they don't know what the fuck they know. Because it shows that they don't know shit about what it means to really be a fucking American. I'm just going to leave it at that, because I could probably go on about this for another, like, 20 minutes, and I really don't want to bore people with it, so.
That was an epic rant.
Little bit. Let's see. Let's see. What do you think of the thing with Trump and the former Miss fucking Universe? What thing with Trump and the former Miss fucking Universe?
Something about him, like, calling her a pig.
Oh, yeah. Wait, now that there was the one he called, like, Miss Piggy and Miss Housekeeping because she was, like, fucking Latina?
I think so.
Well, who cares? Like, seriously, why should anyone care what Trump calls somebody? Oh, Trump is a horrible human being because he was calling somebody names. Are all of us fucking six? When fucking name calling actually meant something? Jesus Christ.
It's Trump. People shouldn't be surprised by this.
Oh, I do happen to remember that part of the presidential fucking debate is that Lester Holt, the guy who had to fucking moderate that, decided to ask questions of Hillary involving her fucking like emails and all this other shit. And what exactly was the hardest hitting question he asked Trump during the whole thing? At least the bits I saw, the hardest hitting question that Lester asked Trump: why did you call Rosie O'Donnell fat? It's like, Lester Holt, shut the fuck up. Just go the fuck away. just go and fucking die on NBC News where nobody fucking watches you.
You know the country's going to hell when you resort to bringing up Rosie O'Donnell in a presidential debate.
Well, dude, you know that though is because one of our candidates is one of the only reasons why Rosie O'Donnell is still fucking relevant.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Could you please do a reaction and review on Zathura? No. Because I have already seen Jumanji. I don't need to watch its sci-fi clone, thank you. Let's see. What else
Did you do a reaction review on Blade Runner?
No.
Okay, for some reason I was thinking you did, and I was looking for it, but I couldn't find it.
It would be rather difficult for me to do that since I've already watched it a couple of times. So, still though, it's totally cool. By the way, speaking of awesome movies, I got a fucking Blu-ray recently, and I was so happy to have it, and it had a little something extra in there I was not expecting. They recently put out a Bill and Ted 2-pack on Blu-ray. So it's both of the fucking Bill and Ted movies. And in there, as like a little extra thing, is an official Wild Stallions guitar pick. Looks fucking awesome.
Really?
Yes. As well as like giant like stickers with both of the movie logos and an ad by the official Bill and Ted like action at the official Bill and Ted action figures. If you feel so compelled to buy the action figures.
Want to know what else I sent to Big Al?
What else?
Ghostbusters 2016 on Blu-ray.
Speaking of that, I did also pre-order that because I am curious about it. I'm still not sure if I'm going to review it or not. I doubt it. And the reason why I doubt it is because I have noticed that fucking Ghostbusters movie, in terms of just talking about it, it seems to be one of the most toxic fucking things to ever come out. Because I've noticed that nobody will ever just let you judge the movie on its own merits. Because you either love it because feminism and girl power and yay howdy, or you hate it because you're a sexist pig. At no time has anyone ever actually talked about the merits of the film itself. No one has talked about the quality of the movie. It always it always comes down to, oh, it's Ghostbusters with fucking women. And to every person who has simplified it down to that, and have been doing that for like the past, year and a half, 2 years, ever since it was fucking announced, fuck you. Okay? You have literally made that movie probably the most unappetizing thing in terms of covering for a fucking... in terms of covering it for a fucking review. Which is sad, because I was really thinking about covering it. And then I had people tell me, now you have to hate it because women. Yeah, and it's like, no, fuck off. Alright? I'm going to watch it eventually. And it's probably going to fall in the same category as stuff like BVS and Deadpool, where I'm going to get around to watching it, and I'm not going to tell anybody what I fucking thought, because it's not worth the headaches.
Well, now that it's been several months since it's been out, maybe it won't be such a hot button issue to talk about.
Oh, dude, it still is.
Is it really?
I can totally feel it. Now, you know what though? I actually am going to make this worth it. Because I do have a Patreon account. I almost never fucking use it. The movie comes out on October 11th. So, how does this sound, guys? If $500 gets raised on my Patreon account between now and the end of fucking October, I will cover it during the month of October. Otherwise, fuck it, I'll just watch it in my fucking spare time. So, there we go. Let's see. I'm just seeing what else we got in here for questions.
Who are you going to call? Who are you going to call?
Sorry, I didn't understand the question I heard.
Of course you did.
Wow. Alexa, I guess, is sort of like the special fucking needs digital fucking assistant, huh?
I should have just gone all out and got the regular Echo.
Well, you know, either that or just gotten a fucking iPad and just used, you know, Siri.
I bet Google Home will know the answer.
I kind of doubt it. Do you like Father Ted? David, have you ever watched any of Father Ted?
No, because my father's name is David, so...
Ha ha ha. So I'm going to assume you've never even heard of Father Ted.
I've seen a couple episodes. It was on PBS, right?
Yeah, it was Irish sitcom about a couple of fucking disgraced priests on a really shitty island.
Yeah, I have seen it. It was pretty
God,
fun.
that show is so awesome. Emer, so the question now is, Emer, when will you be reading that fucking fanfic with Josh? Josh has to message me and let me know, because I never know what the hell his schedule is. So. Let's see what else we got here. Have you watched Son of Zorn? David, have you had the opportunity to see this show yet? Son of Zorn?
Is it a new show?
Yeah. It is a new show on Fox. The concept is a little out there.
You know what new show I did see?
What's that?
That just premiered? Kevin Can Wait.
Oh boy.
Want to hear? Well, I saw the first 5 minutes. Want to know some of the hilarious jokes they say in the first 5 minutes?
Sure.
Well, this show is basically the King of Queens with kids.
Jesus. Well, but wait, didn't they? No, wait, they didn't have kids on the King of Queens. That's why that show was sort of tolerable.
Yeah. Well, in this show, Kevin James is a father, and he has a son who goes up to Kevin James and goes, "Dad, I think I hurt myself playing football." And Kevin James goes, How can you hurt yourself playing Madden football?"
Well, you could strain a thumb muscle. That seriously was the fucking joke, is how do you... Oh, fuck, I know. Okay. I was kind of sort of hoping for there to be like a punchline, but apparently there isn't one.
Well, you see these... When he says that, you think he's like playing actual football, but it turns out it was Madden football. And Kevin James's brother's in it too.
Yeah, see, and Son of fucking Zorn, at least the episode that was on Sunday, it had a joke that Zorn asked his ex-wife if she still had that tattoo, where she had a Z on her left butt cheek and an RN on her right cheek.
Oh. Wow.
So, have you seen anything about Son of, Zorn, or no?
That's like the hybrid live action and animated comedy, right?
Yes, the one where it's essentially like He-Man comes back from Zorn comes back from what the fuck is the name of his country, his world. He actually mentions it once, Zephyria, I think, or something like that. And he goes to meet up with his ex-wife and find out that he has like a 16-year-old son. And so he wants to be a good, father, but he really can't because he's, a basically a He-Man / Conan knockoff.
Yeah, I've heard of that show. There's also supposed to be some other like hybrid live action / animated show featuring Jenna Elfman.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it can't be as bad as Dharma and Greg. I say that now, it's probably going to be even worse than Dharma and Greg. Has Jenna Elfman worked on anything else besides that?
She's had like 5 shows that got canceled. Like she had some shitty show. It was like a family sitcom where she was the mom and J.K. Simmons played her blind husband.
Okay.
And then J.K. Simmons won that Oscar and the show got canceled.
So anyway,
She's also
Oh, dude, here we go. Perfect. What is the worst TV show you've ever seen?
Oh boy. Saved by the Bell.
What the hell do you have against Saved by the Bell? Saved by the Bell wasn't too bad.
It's horrible.
Well,
And the new class wasn't any
the
better.
new class was terrible, and so was like the college years. But I mean, like the early Saved by the Bell, that wasn't too bad.
You mean like Good Morning Miss Bliss?
Well, no, I'm talking the post Bliss stuff, like the first 3-4 seasons of Saved by the Bell before they went to college. Man, worst show I've seen would have to be. Good Lord, let me think.
That actually sounds like the name of a really bad show.
I think probably one of the worst that immediately comes to mind with me, and it's partially because no, wait, that was even worse. Do you remember the Napoleon Dynamite animated series?
I never saw it, but I remember when they were trying to make that into a TV show.
Got canceled after 5 episodes. And
that show probably would have lasted if they'd premiered it like not 10 years after the original movie came out.
See, but now, right here is the thing is, I hated the movie because the movie didn't have any fucking plot and it wasn't really funny. So I was thinking maybe, a decade fucking on, they might have learned how to, write a plot, might learn how to write a joke. No, it was exactly the same as that horrendous fucking movie. It was the same unfunny, plotless bullshit. So,
yeah, I remember that John Heater. He was like kind of a big deal for a while, but you never hear about him anymore.
So yeah, I'd probably have to rank that amongst one of the worst shows I've seen. Believe it or not, about fucking a month ago. Oh boy, about a month ago I was bored. I wasn't able to get to sleep. I found myself watching Game Show Network. It's the first time I'd watched Game Show Network in probably a decade. Started off really good because I got to watch an old episode of fucking Lingo.
Mm-hmm.
Lingo is always a fun show. And then I got hit with 2 shows that were just so fucking just stupid. One of them was I don't even remember the name of the show, but it was hosted by what's his face from Fresh Prince, Alfonso Ribeiro.
Oh, Catch 21.
Yes, that's it. The jacked up retard version of Blackjack.
Yeah, I remember that one.
I sat there watching it, going, so it's Blackjack for simpletons. Fun. And the one after that was the new Pyramid.
The one with Michael Strahan?
No. Oh, okay, so I guess it's not the new Pyramid, but it's new-ish.
Yeah.
It didn't have it fucking didn't have Donny Osmond. It had some other guy as the host. but the set looked almost exactly like Dick Clark's set. Only everything that was like a turning cube was now replaced with like a video screen. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to take it seriously because of the years you and I spent doing Dick Clark pyramid, jokes.
Yeah, I can't do that either.
So I was sitting there, and I was watching it, and I was tired, and all of a sudden, my horrible Dick Clark voice kicked in. They just show my dad. Replace it with video screen. This guy sucks.
Well, actually, with because I saw the current version of Pyramid with Michael Strahan, and they actually brought back the rotating cubes.
Really?
Yeah. Wonder what would happen if Michael Strahan was on the Pyramid.
I am not doing that here. The last thing I need is people, going after me for picking on Dick Clark for having a stroke and dying. Oh boy, Mike fucking Richards, was that the name of the host on that version of Pyramid?
Mike Richards.
Yeah, because someone mentioned it in the chat there.
Let's see here. I'm gonna look this up.
And someone's asking if I've watched Comedy Central's new, show, that Champions of whatever the fuck. I'm gonna tell you, I honestly hadn't even heard of it until I saw Danny's video on it, and I then tried to watch a little bit, and it was fucking horrendous.
Yeah, it was Mike Richards, and his only known TV roles are The Pyramid, and he was the second host of Beauty and the Geek.
Beauty and the Geek had 2 hosts? That show was on long enough to have 2 hosts?
Yeah, there were 5 seasons.
Jesus Christ. Well, I guess, the fucking, CW or UPN or whoever the fuck it was, they must have been just desperate for shows. Or the WB.
Yeah,
I don't remember what channel it fucking started off on.
It was on the WB, and then once they became the CW, it moved to CW for a little while.
Alright.
But his version of The Pyramid only lasted 40 episodes.
Let's see. Both of you, what is your favorite holiday?
Thanksgiving.
Really?
Yeah, because it's Christmas, but without the commercialism and stuff.
Really, without the commercialism, just the rampant purchases of turkey and ham and all that other fun shit.
I mean, you don't really see commercials on
like,
TV and stuff.
Well, except for stovetop stuffing and shit. It's like Thanksgiving is just not Thanksgiving without pure natural stovetop stuffing.
I'll have real stuffing, thank you very much.
Yes, I want mine to not come out of a bag. I want mine out of a box. I want mine to just be bread. Stale fucking bread that I bought specifically to make into stuffing, thank you.
Well, actually, I guess I can't really say without the commercialism, because nowadays they're having Black Friday on Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Oh, I like Thanksgiving, and I like Halloween. I like any holiday that just lets me eat a lot.
Halloween I have always liked just simply because it just sort of gives me a reason to watch a shitload of horror movies and not be seen as a weirdo. Because apparently when you try to watch Hellraiser on Valentine's Day, that looks fucking weird. But when you watch it on Halloween, it's all fucking good.
Yeah. And starting tomorrow, it's going to be acceptable again.
Yep. This is Halloween. This is Halloween.
Is that from The Nightmare Before Christmas?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I'm actually trying to think of what other holidays I usually really fucking enjoy, but Halloween is probably the top of the fucking list because I honestly though am not much of a holiday person anyway. So like Thanksgiving, I just see that as just like a time to hang out with family. Christmas is kind of sort of the same way. New Year's, well, I've worked like every like New Year's Eve for the past like 3 years, so I don't really give a shit about New Year's.
I gotta work a 12-hour shift on Christmas.
Let me see. What day does Christmas fall on this year? I just have to check out of curiosity.
I think it's on a
November,
weekend this year.
Shit, I'm going to be working Christmas night. But I do have off Christmas Eve, so at least there is that, because I have off Fridays and Saturdays for the next year, so I'm pretty happy about that, so.
People go gambling on Christmas?
I don't know, because, let me think. Because when I was working in slots, I was working at the outlets that Christmas, and the outlets are closed on Christmas because nobody wants to go out to one of our gas stations and gamble on Christmas. And then when I went to the vault last year, Christmas I think fell on one of my days off, so didn't have to do anything then. I'm not really sure. I honestly have seen Stranger Things. After all, I have seen people gamble for 36 hours straight. So, stranger shit has happened.
If you ever see Jane Curtin at your casino, you should go up to her and say, "Jane, you ignorant slot."
Ha 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 ha. Good one. That actually is a pretty good one.
Thank you. I'm not quitting my day job. Don't worry.
Both of you, what is your favorite Tim Burton movie?
Probably the original Batman.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards Batman, but I'm also leaning towards Mars Attacks. I really like Mars Attacks.
Beetlejuice is pretty good.
Beetlejuice is also a fucking classic. Corpse Bride I fucking loved when I got around to covering that one for reaction and review. It actually is kind of weird. I have seen a bunch of Tim Burton movies. The only one I never really cared for is Edward fucking Scissorhands. Like a lot of people love that movie, and it's fine, but it's not really something that I could see myself, going out and watching. You know what I mean?
And of course, you got to bring up his greatest film, Planet of the Apes.
Still haven't watched that one. But I'm gonna be rectifying that in November when I do my fucking remake month.
Oh really? What else do you end up for that month?
I actually have another Tim. I have another Tim Burton movie lined up. You can probably guess what, because the man hasn't done a whole lot of remakes.
Alice in Wonderland?
No. However, this one is also based on a book, so.
Oh, Charlie and the Chocolate.
Yes. I've got those. I've got Total fucking Recall, Death at a Funeral. I spit on your fucking grave. RoboCop. The Texas fucking Chainsaw Massacre. I've got a handful lined up. So.
I actually kind of liked Tim Burton's version of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I didn't think it was that bad. Because they spent a lot more time in the factory, whereas in the original, like most of the movie,
the first half is Charlie trying to get the ticket.
Yeah. And then with the Tim Burton version, they kind of go through all that stuff pretty quickly.
So let's see here. Just seeing what else we got for comments. Your favorite Superman villain? I'm not sure, David, how far your knowledge of Superman villains goes.
Well, I know Lex Luthor, I know Zod, I know Brainiac, I know like the major ones.
The like big players, so.
Yeah.
You aren't going to be the one who stands there and goes, I know Parasite. I really like Parasite.
I guess Lex Luthor because I'm a big Gene Hackman fan, and I always kind of enjoyed Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman's Luthor was awesome. It really, really was. If I had to pick a favorite Superman villain, and this one here just he is technically a Superman villain considering how many times the two of them have fought. Darkseid. Darkseid totally takes it. He takes it for me.
Now, wasn't Darkseid caught masturbating on camera a few months ago?
Wait, what? Oh, yeah, never mind. God damn it, David. Is that camera on? Oh my goodness. And speaking of Darkseid, I guess I can mention this. For those of you who have a PS4 and have Star Wars Battlefront, I am downloading that as we speak. So. Jesse Eisenberg's Luthor is cool. Kinda. Let's see.
I think Howie Mandel should play Lex Luthor. Or Luthor.
I'm not really sure, dude. I mean, because I'm sitting here and I'm just picturing it because Luthor, granted, is the kind of villain who doesn't like to get too physical with shit, and Howie's a massive, like, germaphobe, so I can see that kind of working. So.
Well, he did play Mr. Mix Yeagle-Pix or whatever.
Mixes-Spitlick?
Yeah, he played him. Yeah, on an episode of Lois and Clark.
Really, out of all the people to play friggin' Mixes-Spitlick, Howie Mandel.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Back when he still had that giant Jew fro.
Yeah. I still think that probably the best casting choice for that character is when they got Gilbert Gottfried to play him in the Superman animated series. It just worked so well.
Yeah, I could see that.
What are your thoughts on Harambe memes? Or, my fault. Retarded Harambe memes. Which I guess are... Well, no, because all fucking Harambe memes are absolutely fucking retarded, so... But David, your thoughts on these?
That poor monkey's legacy is ruined.
Now, the thing is that ever since I first heard people talking about this fucking ape getting, shot, and they just kept calling him by fucking name. Have you ever watched The Boondocks?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Have you seen the Christmas episode?
I don't think I've seen that one.
Because it has this character played by Judge fucking Reinhold, and he's this ultra-sensitive white teacher at Huey's school. He's trying to teach everybody Kwanzaa. And on one of the days of Kwanzaa, the head of the family or the chief is supposed to do the fucking Harambe salute. Which, because he doesn't know what the fuck it is, he sort of translates it as fist pumping and then just screaming fucking Harambe. And when they first showed that back in God, when in the hell did that show first air? 2009, 2010? When that episode first aired, I thought, my God, that's just fucking stupid. And now I see people actually, essentially doing that over this fucking ape. It's like, God damn. And I always just think about it, it's like, I feel so bad for any fucking aliens who happen to be looking in on this country, who wonder why in the hell do we have this stupid fucking, almost cult built up over a fucking gorilla.
It'll come and go.
Oh, true, dude. I mean, because it's a fucking meme and it is going to pass. As soon honestly as these morons find something else to fucking laugh at, then, the memes then are going to be about as dead as the ape is. So.
We need to bring back the dancing baby.
Speaking of that,
Oh my.
because I know how much you love the song which is associated with the Dancing Baby, "Hooked on a Feeling" by Blue Suede.
Ooga chaka, ooga ooga.
I was at fucking work last night, and that song started playing, and for some reason I thought about you. Because I know how much you fucking despise that fucking song.
Yeah, it's not one of my favorites.
Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka.
Well, you know, that song is a rip-off of The Running Bear.
A little bit. Running fucking Bear was sort of catchy, too. Oh man. Funny thing, I actually had never heard of that song until I was about 12, Running Bear. Because I was at Big Lots, because we used to go to Big Lots a lot. And they had this small section of like CDs and cassettes and shit. And they had these 3 cassettes of novelty songs. And I bought all 3 of them, and Running Bear happened to be one of those songs. So I got to listen to all 3 of those tapes and fucking loved them. So,
You know who does the Native American chant on the Running Bear?
no, I don't.
George Jones and the Big Bopper.
Really?
Yeah, it's funny because those two are like legends, and it's like, whatever happened to Johnny Preston?
True. Let's see. Don't give, just keep that in mind, your home fucking address. Yes, I know. I learned that one the hard way, and then I moved. So, yeah.
He refuses to. People
I
ask me all the time.
I absolutely refuse to give this asshole my fucking address.
People ask me all the time if I'm going to send you any more stuff, and I'm like, I can't. He won't. Refuses.
Like, I mean, shit. I mean, I actually could if I because there actually is a way that you could send shit, but it's probably one of the most fucking like roundabout, stupid ass ways of doing it, and I didn't even know it was possible until people started pulling it. And this here is kind of sort of a secret for anyone else who wants to know. If you go onto somebody's Amazon wish list and you select to buy something off of their wish list, and then you add more shit onto the fucking cart on fucking Amazon, you can then select to ship all of it to that person. I know because somebody asked me if I'd cover some like stupid Christian fucking superhero movie that was, I guess, pitched on like Shark Tank or some such shit. And I told them no. And then they sent it anyway. By buying something else on the wish list and sort of piggybacking this, like, stupid looking movie along with it.
What was it, Bible Man?
No. It was like Black Tiger or some such shit.
Oh.
It was some fucking like Christian-esque superhero that was, I guess, the person who created it like tried to fucking pitch it on Shark Tank. And it was like shot down on, Shark Tank. And so they had to go and get funding elsewhere. The other time that happened, somebody bought something off the wish list, and then they insisted on sending what in the hell was the name of that retarded fucking movie? The fucking Babadook, which I had at that time stated I was not going to cover. So let me just sort of say this, guys. If I happen to say that I'm not going to cover something, just sending it in by piggybacking it off of something else on the wish list is not going to change that. Just saying.
I got a question about a trauma movie.
Oh boy! All right, let's hear this.
Have you ever seen Fat Guy Goes Nutsoid?
I haven't. No.
Really?
I actually have thought about watching it. It's just that I haven't found a copy anywhere, and I'm not even sure if it's on the Trauma Movies page or anything.
I found it for
might
like
be.
$20 on Amazon.
$20? Jesus, man, there's a little bit pricey.
That's for the VHS.
Fuck. Yeah, because I don't think Trauma ever put that one out on DVD.
You know that was one of Joan Allen's first movies.
Really?
Yeah. Fat guy goes nutsoid.
Well, shit, man. I mean, like, Trauma, though, has pretty much... I mean, like, and Trauma has had a history of a lot of actors getting their start. Like, Vincent, it was like Vincent fucking D'Onofrio started off in... what the hell was the one he was in? It was the first fucking Turn On.
Really?
Yeah. There was... Shit, it was Marissa Tomei? No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Maybe it was Marissa Tomei. She has like a, she appears as like a background actress in the Toxic Avenger for like 3 seconds.
I did not know that.
Or
interesting.
Son of a bitch. No, I am almost certain that it wasn't Marissa Tomei. I'm trying to remember who in the hell it was. Cause oh yeah, it was. Cause that there's like one of those things that Trauma loves to talk about. Is, oh, yeah, and she's totally in it for, like, 3 seconds. or the fact that they've, bought a movie that wound up being Kevin fucking Costner's first. It was a movie called Sizzle Beach, USA.
Sounds about, about as good as Waterworld.
I would probably say that Waterworld's probably a little bit fucking better. Sizzle Beach, USA looks fucking awful. It really does.
You see, I think Kevin Costner should remake that movie.
Remake which one? Waterworld? Or Sizzle Beach, USA?
Sizzle Beach.
Well, dude, like, wouldn't he then just turn it into like a 3-hour movie that sucks? Because that seems to be all that Costner can do. It's just make shit like 3 hours fucking long, and make it almost unfucking watchable. Because I'm gonna tell you, I liked watching dances. I liked watching dances with wolves, but it's a little bit lengthy. I liked watching The Postman, but that fucker did not have to be 3 hours long. Waterworld, I think, is like 2.5 hours long. I still have never seen it, but
it's actually not that bad, and it features a small role from Jack Black.
Yeah, I've noticed that Jack fucking Black was in like a whole lot of movies where he just had like a little bit. He had like a little bit fucking role, because I know he's in like Demolition Man for like 15 seconds, and he's in fucking Biodome for about 10 seconds.
He also plays the lead antagonist of the Neverending Story 3.
I was just about to mention that one too.
He plays the leader of the Nasties.
And of course, the Neverending Story 3 is the one that no one ever wants to talk about. Have I seen RWBY yet? No. Should I? Because it's on fucking Rooster Teeth, and I haven't given a shit about Rooster Teeth in about a decade. And no one's given me a reason to care about this RWBY thing, so... Outside of the fact that the creator's dead, yet the series goes on, so don't know why I'd want to continue. Okay, someone's asking why is violent shit on the Amazon wish list? You see, oh god, this is gonna sound so weird. That version of violent shit that is on the wish list is apparently a fucking like Italian remake, where it just takes the character of Carl, the killer from Violent Shit, and like moves him to Rome and makes him like a serial killer in Rome. And it just sounds so fucking stupid. I'm kind of curious.
Belladonna of Sadness?
Yeah, somebody, like, about 4 months ago or 5 months ago asked me if I would if I would ever cover it, and it's apparently, like, one of those, like, mind-fuck animated films. And so I put it on the wish list, and at the time I think it was at, like, $40. So I thought, what the hell, I'll just throw it on there. If somebody really wants me to cover this fucking thing, then they can just pay for it. I'll cover it at some point. So.
Does it star the lead singer of Anthrax?
I don't think so.
That'd be pretty awesome.
So apparently, this is totally off topic, but I just jumped on Facebook and saw a couple of posts about this. Apparently, apparently TNA fucking wrestling may be going out of business this fucking weekend.
I had no idea they were still in business.
Oh yeah, dude, they've been in business since 2002. The thing about it is just that I honestly am kind of surprised that TNA has lasted as long as they fucking did. Because, you know, we happen to look back at, like, WCW. WCW did not become a thing until 1989. And before that, it was just Jim Crockett Promotions, or it was Georgia Championship Wrestling. It was something else. It didn't officially become WCW until the late 80s. And then it died around 2001. So, you know, so that there's usually like the watermark I see for companies that aren't the WWE that, you know, still get like national television exposure. TNA's lasted longer than WCW did, technically. Again, if we go back to when exactly did WCW become WCW? And what kind of sucks is that TNA is actually doing shit now that's kind of fun. That makes it almost watchable. Because do you happen to remember the Hardy Boys? Do you remember the Hardy Boys much?
Yeah.
They have...
That's one of them.
The characters now have become insane. Like, Matt Hardy at one point became this, like, broken fucking lunatic who speaks with a goofy fucking accent and is just... He's odd, to say the very least. And he started off with him feuding with his fucking brother, you know, Jeff. And then he wound up breaking Jeff, so now Jeff is fucking nuts. And now they're feuding with another stable who's also got the gimmick of being certifiably loony. And they've apparently got a fight on Sunday, which is being called the, like, final... It's like the, like, final war, the great, you know, war, but nobody's actually said what the fuck the stipulations of this thing are, so...
People with the last name Hardy are usually just so sane.
Oh, yes, because, you know, I just look at you and stories about your dad and him kicking you out and the rock and roll lifestyle and da-da-da-da-da, you know.
Of course.
Rock and roll life, son, it's the rock and roll lifestyle. Yeah!
Da-na-na.
Do you remember the XFL?
Yeah, I do.
I still have memories of that first night, because I watched the XFL's opening fucking night. I'm not sure, David, now did you watch the first night of XFL football?
I watched a night of it. I'm not sure if it was the first night.
Well, because the first night, like, before... I mean, like, so essentially going into and coming out of every commercial break, they would have promos from wrestlers, basically trying to upsell how the XFL is better than the fucking NFL because it doesn't have as many fucking rules and it's not quite as pansified and it's real fucking football and all this other fun shit. And I remember that first match. It was the Las Vegas Outlaws against, I cannot remember who the fuck the Outlaws were playing against, but it was such a fucking blowout that by about the midway point of the third fucking quarter, the national fucking feed of that game was cut off.
Wow.
And they started showing the other game, which I think was like New York versus Chicago, I think was the other game. And so then the Las Vegas Outlaws game was only seen in the Vegas market and in the market of whoever the fuck they might have been fucking Los Angeles. I'm not sure anymore. But anyway, it's like it was, like Vegas was just crushing them. I believe the score was like 27-3.
Jeez.
So they're like, yeah, we're just gonna cut to the other game because that one's a little bit closer.
Yeah, the XFL, I don't even think that lasted a whole season, did it?
It did. It did. The problem when it came to the XFL, and almost everybody who's looked at it is very open about this, is that there really wasn't any challenge because every team in the XFL was owned by one guy. They were all owned by Vince McMahon. So it's like it wasn't a matter of this guy's team is scoring off against this guy's team, who has the better team. If the XFL would have gone a second season, the plans apparently, from what I've read, is Vince was going to sell half of the teams to Donald Trump, and then they were going to hold a fucking and then they were going to hold like a draft. They were going to create like four more teams. So then Vince would have his like 8 teams, Trump would have his 8, and they'd play, and then one of Trump's teams and one of Vince's teams would play in the $1 Million game for the second season.
That would have been interesting.
Now, I don't know why Vince wouldn't have, I don't know, like tried to find even more fucking even more like billionaires and millionaires to try to get you, because I know that Trump and Mark Cuban both fucking hate each other. Could you imagine if Vince had sold like 3 teams to Mark Cuban, and just picture the weeks when one of Trump's teams would play against one of Cuban's teams?
Nah, Vince wouldn't backstab his bro.
Unfortunately. What made you change your mind about Rocket League? Well, see, guys, the problem with fucking Rocket League when I first tried it is I tried playing it on my laptop, and my laptop sucks. Okay. Alright, so I couldn't play it because there was mountains of fucking lag, and it was just a big pain in the ass. Then, when I finally got a console that carried Rocket League, I thought, what the hell, I guess I can try it, because at least now I know that the fucker's going to actually run. And it's actually fun when you can actually get it to go. You know what I mean? I actually kind of sort of wish I could, get, like a bunch of people together. I would love to do like a 3v3 or maybe even like a 4v4 Rocket League match with some of you guys. That, I think, would be just amazing. Let's see. Let me just see what else we got in here for comments. Emer, who is the most annoying troll you've ever dealt with?
He's talking to him right now.
Oh, no, dude. You honestly are not a fucking troll. You see, right here, guys, is sort of the thing. Is that trolls, I don't fucking deal with trolls as often as most people would think. I usually just either let them fucking burn out or I just block them because why not? And the thing I have to deal with are like people who just, for whatever reason, hate me. And will send message after message after message, just bitching and whining and pissing and moaning. And I just wait for them to try to make some kind of a valid point I can actually try to argue. And that never happens. So, someone's asked like 4 times now. Might as well throw this out there. Am I going to stream Battlefield 1 when it comes out? I don't know. I would have to own it first. And I'm not sure if I'm going to buy it. So,
You should stream Battlefield Earth.
Battlefield Earth is actually a pretty good movie. I don't care what anyone says. That is probably one of the... No. Now just hear me out. Battlefield Earth is probably one of the greatest unintentional comedies ever made. Because...
Where John Travolta has, like, Medusa hair?
Yes. Have you ever watched it, dude?
I remember when they were like promoting the hell out of that movie, like back in the day.
Oh my god, it is so fucking just goofy as shit. Okay, first of all, now Dutch angles. You happen to know how Dutch angles work, right? Like the camera's like tilted and all that. And what Dutch
Yeah.
angles are usually used to attempt to like punctuate a shot in movies. Battlefield Earth is like 99% Dutch angles.
I just remember seeing ads for that movie when I was like 11 and thinking, wow, this looks terrible.
Oh, dude, it is, but holy fuck, it is so awesome.
I mean, just thinking about how easily entertained I was back then and thinking that looked terrible.
Okay, another question we got here is: have you since rewatched a Serbian film? Well, I do. Well, I do own it on Blu-ray. I've since watched it about 4 more times since covering it for my series. I still believe that it's an amazing fucking movie.
Isn't that like your most viewed video?
It might be. Hang on a minute. I'm actually going to go and check because I'm curious. Oh boy, guys, we all get to listen now as Emer starts clicking on his mouse and looks up shit. So, yay! All right. So, most viewed. What is my most viewed video? It is a Serbian film, 120,000 views.
I thought so. I thought it was either that or Boku no Pico.
That one actually is number 2 at 116,000.
Oh, so it's getting there.
And Salo is third with 108,000. So, now you were talking earlier about Samuel to Geek.
Yeah.
I actually happen to remember once he was in the comment section of one of these streams, and he was talking about how he was talking about how he is such a great fucking YouTuber because he has 3 videos which have over 100,000 views. Well, checkmate, asshole. So do I. And my 3 are probably better than yours.
Yeah, but you weren't a delegate at the Republican National Convention.
I wouldn't want to be a delegate at the Republican National Convention because I'm not a fucking Republican.
Well, you ought to have a stream where it's just you and Samuel.
God, no. Not even if you paid me.
Well, you've talked to Samuel like on Skype before, haven't you?
For maybe all of like 10 fucking minutes.
I remember the first time I ever talked to Darkness. It was me, him, and Samuel.
Oh boy.
Samuel didn't make too good of an impression on him.
See, and what I always find kind of funny when it comes to me and Josh is how the two of us first fucking met. Like, because I don't even fucking... I believe it actually may have been Rago, that one little turd that kind of brought all of us together. Rago, I think, like, brought like Josh into a call, and I was in there, and there was this like long pause. We're like, hey. He looks at me and goes, "So are you the Helsing 920?" And there was a pause in my mind. I'm like, I don't know. Is this the Darkness, the Curse? We're like, yeah. I like your videos. I like your videos too. Boom, friendship like instantly solidified.
I remember.
It was a very, very awkward like 2 minutes there.
I remember when I first talked to you, and I first talked to Josh, and I first talked to Al, because I was just starting out on YouTube, and you guys had already been around for a while, and you were all like really popular by the time I first started. And I would just always be like geeking out on the inside because I felt like, ooh, I'm talking to these celebrities. And now it's just like, you guys are just a bunch of bastards I've known for years now.
Pretty much. It used to be, oh my god, I'm talking to these guys. It's like, yeah, I'm talking to Emer again.
Pretty much.
Oh,
It's
dude.
like it's like with Al. I was like, because he was like one of the first people I ever watched and got into. And I had been a fan of his for like 2 years, and then I talked to him. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. I never imagined that 8 years later I'd be sending him yak testicles in the mail.
And that he would be willing to accept yak testicles in the mail from you.
And then eat them.
Yes. Okay, weirdest animated and live action porn you have seen. I guess they're asking, like, what is the weirdest animated porno you've seen, and what's the weirdest live action porno you've seen?
Well, I've never seen any animated porn, but I did see a part of One Night in China.
Oh, dear God. I have only seen screenshots of One Night in China.
China's like the female Danny.
Yes, because she honestly has a clit that could probably fit inside of a monster can. Oh, Jesus. But speaking of China, I happen to remember once somebody asked me if I'd ever do the She-Hulk porno, which starred China as She-Hulk. So I downloaded it, expecting, well, because this person I think said they were going to pay me like $200. But of course I wanted the cash first. But I downloaded it ahead of time. I wanted to make sure that I had the correct file. And I wanted to make sure that it was in English and that the audio was synced up. You know, I wanted to make sure I was watching the proper thing. Got to one of the She-Hulk sex scenes. They painted the inside of China's butt cheeks green to match the rest of the She-Hulk body. It's like, well, that's attention to detail.
I wonder
was weird as hell.
I wonder who had to do that.
I don't know. I actually didn't even find like credits on the video, so I don't know who got tasked as fucking, butt cheek painter. So wouldn't that ever be like a fucked up, credit to have? Like, who would someone be proud of having that on their fucking like resume? It's like, yes, I was a fluffer in this film, I was a rigger in this film, and I painted China's butt cheeks in the She-Hulk porno. As for weirdest animated porno, oh boy. Starballs, I think, still wins, if for no other reason than that weird sex scene in the middle where Mulder and Scully walk into the fucking Mos Eisley cantina and Mystique is behind the bar. And then Mystique shapeshifts into Kid Rock and begins fucking Scully because reasons. Your silence isn't really helping this, David.
I'm just trying to fathom this. And I can't.
Or, well, there is also the ending of Starballs where George fucking Lucas is getting a blowjob from Jar Jar Binks, but let's not dwell on that.
I'll have to check this one out.
Okay, I just have to remind you, it's Starballs. Balls is spelled with a Z.
Who would win in a fight, George Lucas or Gene Roddenberry?
If it was a fight today, Lucas, for obvious reasons. But I think if they were both still alive, they were both still in their prime, I have a feeling that Roddenberry would probably kick his ass.
Well, Roddenberry, I believe, was like in the army. I don't think Lucas was. I think Lucas is always just kind of a doughy dork, so probably Roddenberry.
Yeah. Roddenberry, I think, would just completely just like kick his ass. NES Minis emulation is far better than the Virtual Console emulation for those interested. How the hell do we know this? The NES Mini's not even out yet. In fact, I haven't heard anything new about the NES Mini in a while. Speaking of that, let me go see, I'm not seeing the NES Mini on Amazon. That's odd.
What the hell is up with the Nintendo NX?
What about it?
Well, you always hear about,
next week Nintendo's gonna, you know, unveil all of its plans for the NX, and they're gonna unveil the console itself. And then a week goes by, and they never do. But then you hear, oh, next week Nintendo's gonna unveil the Nintendo NX. And a week goes by, and they never do.
See, what I think is going on here, what I think is going on with this is that I don't think they have any idea about what the fuck is going to be on the NX. I really think that it is just that they are trying desperately to be, like relevant again in the gaming market. So if they say that they have a new console coming, it's going to make people care, because right now the only thing that people care about, which is even, slightly connected to Nintendo, is Pokemon Go, which Nintendo has no bearing with. Someone's asking here, did you actually buy the Boku no Pico DVD, or did you just download it? Dude, I wouldn't... Who the fuck would buy that on DVD? No, as was the way early on with my series, I downloaded everything because I was too fucking cheap to actually buy anything. Now it's kind of sort of the opposite. I'm willing to buy everything, and I download when I have no other option. So.
You mean you weren't willing to buy Kick-Assia?
No, I wasn't willing to buy Kick-Assia. God, that movie was fucking terrible. Okay, what is the first video game you ever played?
I wish I had a more exciting answer, but like everyone else my age, probably Super Mario Brothers.
See, I had heard about Mario Brothers, I'd heard about all of this other shit, and I really just wanted to play a video game as a kid. And my dad was at a yard sale, and he found an old Pong machine.
Oh, wow.
So, well, correction, it wasn't even like Pong. It was like, I think it was like a fucking Gumry Ward's brand electric digital table fucking tennis game, which had table tennis, soccer, ping pong. It claimed to have all of this shit, and it was just subtle variations on Pong. It was certainly kind of fun, though. Now, if we were to skip that, then my first game beyond that would be... oh, boy, let me think. What was that first game I ever played? The first video game I ever played. Oh, yeah, Pac-Man. I got to play... because my grandparents used to own a bar in Seymour, and they had Pac-Man there, and we used to always hold like Christmas parties at the fucking bar. Like the whole family'd all just show up, and everybody'd be like shooting pool, shooting darts, or like shuffleboard, bowling, all that other kind of shit. And I went over and I played fucking Pac-Man, and I absolutely loved it. So that was my first like actual gaming experience that wasn't Pong. So, I actually kind of miss the old. I really kind of miss the old shuffleboard bowling game. That was so awesome.
Was that a video game?
Shuffleboard bowling? Oh, no, dude. What it was at bars they used to have these. It was literally this fucking like shuffleboard setup, where you basically had like the polished fucking like wooden like surface and everything, and you had these little like metal fucking pucks, and at the fucking end was a rack of like hollowed out bowling pins on hinges. There were sensors like underneath them, so essentially, so you'd essentially have to take the puck and you basically have to like slam it. You basically have to like slam it down the lane, and it would then trigger the sensors, and it would then flip up the pins the way that they would have fallen if you were bowling, and it would track
right.
and it would track your fucking score. It was awesome. Let's see here. Let me just see what else we got here for questions. I could have sworn I saw one. Oh yeah, somebody wants me to explain the wish list. Just funny because it's one of the guys who sent in a bunch of movies for it. So, okay, so the way that the Amazon wish list works, guys, is pretty simple. So you basically have to message me or leave a comment, or and when I say message me, I mean message me on the Facebook page, message me on YouTube, DM me on Twitter. I don't give a shit where. Just go ahead and ask. Please, though, I ask that you pick only one of those places, because somebody actually decided to ask me to cover a movie on all of those yesterday, and that led to me saying fucking no, because when you feel the urge to ask the very same question worded the exact same way and just fucking like copy paste it everywhere, it just gets kind of annoying. So just pick one and ask me if I can cover a movie, and if I think it's something that would be worth putting on, like, if I think it's something that would be worth covering, then one of two things are going to happen. I am either going to buy the movie myself, or I'm going to put it on the wish list, and if somebody buys it off of the wish list, then I can cover it at some point, and if that person messages me and tells me what they want fucking promoted, whether it be like their YouTube channel, their Twitter account, their Facebook page, their Instagram page, their DA page, their Tumblr blog, whatever the fuck it is, then I will give that a shout out at the end of that episode. So let's see. Hey, Emer, have you ever watched Mystery Science Theater 3000? If so, what's your favorite episode? No, I've never watched MST in my fucking life, dude. No, I don't know anything about Mike or Joel or the bots. No. Not at all. David, what about you? Have you ever watched MST?
Yeah, although I'm not really looking forward to the new one that's coming out.
Oh, God, that fucking new one looks terrible. So, what is your favorite episode of Mystery Science Theater?
Probably Space Mutiny.
Space Mutiny is a good one. My favorite's got to be Overdrawn at the Memory Bank. That one still just hits me as a classic.
Fingal!
Oh, dude. Like, I really am just, like, I'm really just kind of, like, thinking about some of the other, like, great episodes of Mystery Science Theater. Like, Hobgoblins is usually ranked up there as a pretty high one. Manos, The Hands of Fate. Both fucking Christmas episodes. Santa Claus and Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
The Joe Don Baker movies.
The only one of those I think I've seen is Mitchell.
They also did one towards the end of the series. It was one called, like, The Final Sacrifice. Not The Final Sacrifice, but
Final Justice. Wasn't it called The Final Justice? Yeah. The Final fucking Sacrifice, though, was also an awesome episode, too.
Yeah, that was.
With the greatest action hero in the history of cinema, Mr. Zap Rousdower. Oh, shit.
What a name.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, man. Just, there have been so many just interesting episodes of Mystery Science Theater. There also have been some pretty good riff tracks, too. I'm not sure if you watch any riff track stuff.
I haven't seen riff tracks, but they get some pretty good guest stars on them.
Well, see, and it started off, at first it was just fucking Mike. It was just Mike doing commentaries like solo, and he'd occasionally get somebody else to join him, whether it be like Weird Al, I know, joined him for one movie. I can't quite remember which movie it was. And then he started getting Kevin and Bill in. And it felt a lot like classic, Mystery Science Theater. I know for a fact that he got, I believe it was Kevin, in for The Matrix, which I actually tried to watch. That I actually did try to sync up the fucking commentary and everything, and it was pretty fucking solid. And then they did all the Riff Tracks live events. Like 4 of those are on Blu-ray, and I have those. So it's like they basically do live. So they do like a live Riff Tracks thing on the House on Haunted Hill, Plan 9, Reefer Madness. The other one is just like holiday shorts, like Christmas short films and everything. And they were able to get fucking they were able to get like Weird Al to come in and work on one of those. And because they wanted to sort of mock and sort of pick on the fact that Weird Al's a vegetarian, they decided to have him come in and do this one fucking like holiday like PSA film on, I believe it was like the pork industry. And it was made by the pork industry. So it's this whole film talking about the awesome positives of eating fucking pork. And about like halfway through, Weird Al's like, God, guys, I am a freaking vegetarian. This is awful. I'm done. And just walks off.
I'll just watch that instead of Mystery Science with Felicia Day.
Jesus Christ, man. Felicia Day. Jesus. And Felicia Day's supposed to be, what, like Forrester's daughter?
Yeah, and Patton Oswalt's character is supposed to be Frank's son.
Well, I can kind of see that. Like, I actually could kind of see that one there kind of sort of working. You know what I mean? TV son of what? And isn't he being credited as like TV son of TV's Frank?
Yeah.
Which I think would kind of work. I mean, like Patton Oswalt's got that kind of feeling. You know what I mean? He's got that. He certainly has that like Frank fucking Conniff kind of style. So that one there I can kind of see.
I wonder if they'll try and make, the new guy like Joel's son or something.
I don't know. And I actually got to watch the episode when they were fucking talking about who they cast as the fucking bots. That was a rather cringy little video there. As they were talking about how Servo is being played by a black guy, and that seemed to be the only thing which they could come up with is, yeah, and he's being played by a black guy now. Yay for diversity.
And their one black guy doesn't even have a screen role; it's just voice.
Yeah, it's just voice. It's not like, well, I mean, they could always make him like Bobo's son, but that might be seen as in bad taste.
Oh God.
What?
Okay, Harley.
What?
Bobo's son.
We were both fucking thinking it. You fucking know it.
Yeah, but I wasn't gonna say it.
One of these days, I actually should try to get Harley on one of these streams.
Oh God, you gotta watch out for her.
Oh, dude, trust me. I know. I have seen her posts on Facebook. I know. Just
that girl's got no filter at all.
Well, I also don't have much. Well, dude, I also don't have much of a filter. That's why I love doing this.
No, that's true.
Do you think we'll ever see a Marvel vs. DC movie? No. I really don't see that happening. Partially because Marvel is owned by Disney, DC is owned by Warner Brothers. The last time that those two studios crossed over, it was a massive mess of just trying to get shit balanced, so I don't see that happening. Speaking of that, because the fucking last time that those two studios crossed, it was for Who Framed Roger Rabbit, all those years ago. Well, not counting that Cartoon All-Stars thing, let's just stick with Roger Rabbit for this. Did you happen to hear a whole lot of the bullshit that Warner Brothers and Disney put the fucking studio through when it came to making Roger Rabbit?
No. It sounds like, a pretty complicated thing.
Well, see, because they wanted a scene where Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse are both in the scene together. which they fucking did. I mean, they were able to get the scene going, but it was set up in just such a way. God, okay, hang on. I have to close my Facebook tab. It keeps fucking dinging because someone keeps commenting on the same fucking thing. Okay, let's just close that. Anyway, so both fucking studios said that the other studio's character could not have more screen time or more dialogue. So that means that Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny both had to be on camera for the same amount of time and have the same amount of dialogue. So they had to balance this shit. And they had to sit there and they had to count out fucking words and they had to count out. So basically, in order to make sure that they're both on screen for the same amount of time, they basically decided to basically put them both on camera at the same time every time that they're both on camera. It was just trying to balance out the fucking dialogue that was kind of a pain in the ass. If I'm not mistaken, they also basically said the same thing about the Daffy Duck, Donald Duck scene, is that the two of them have to be, it was that the both of them have to be on screen for the same fucking amount of time, not when they kind of had a little bit more freedom with, and that neither side could properly win the piano fucking duel, so it had to end in a fucking draw, which kind of works because it's funnier as a fucking draw. But it's like they had to fucking jump through hoops for all of this, and mind you, no other studio involved in this had any other kind of issue. I think it was Fleischer fucking Studios, and a couple of characters which they had to give in were fine. God, who else all turned in characters for that? Famous Studios, Harvey Studios, all of them turned in just amazing shit, and they all were just totally free to just do whatever. Warner Brothers and Disney were even free with pretty much everything that wasn't big characters. So basically anything that wasn't Mickey, Donald, Daffy, or Bugs, they're basically free to do as much as they fucking wished. But then again, Roger Rabbit also had a problem with one character who they wanted to use. They wanted to use Felix. They wanted to use Felix. It was Felix the cat. And the studio who owned Felix, I don't even remember which studio it was, or the fucking copyright holder of the character, had some kind of an issue with the fucking movie, and said no. So they honestly had to sneak in Felix. So if you ever watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and you see when Eddie's outside of the Toontown Arch, that road that leads right into Toontown, at the top of the top of the arch is a stone carving of fucking Felix the cat's face. So they were able to slip it in. So
I'm surprised they were allowed to get away with that.
Well, I mean, it was a very small thing, and you really have to be looking for it in order for anyone to fucking notice it. So that movie, though, oh man, that movie took so much effort to make, and they apparently want to make a sequel, which kind of sort of surprises me. In all fucking seriousness, so
It won't be the same without Bob Hoskins.
true. Let's see what else we got in here. How has the weather been in Green Bay? It's been kind of sort of rainy, and according to David's derpy little echo thing, we have showers, and it's going to continue across, the night, which is the only thing that goddamn thing's has been able to answer all fucking night. So,
Yeah, pretty much. What's up, Doc?
I'm good. I hope you're doing well too.
Oh, thanks.
wow, it actually answered to that one. I'm a little bit shocked.
I am too.
So let's see. Why don't we scroll back up here a touch? I want to see if there's anything else. Do Do you even have a DA account? I don't know, because I don't go over to DeviantArt, so... Unlike fucking Jim, who's willing to, put his name on like a diaper fetish or inflation fetish site underneath visitors, I do not have an account to put my name on there, so lucky me. Speaking of that, I actually am wondering if Jim's put up a new fucking, Deviants episode yet, because it's kind of sort of been a while. Nope. He hasn't put up anything yet, anyway.
Who was that guy who had like the huge diaper fetish, and he would like wear them and stuff, and he took a bunch of pictures of himself and they leaked online?
Dude, that basically sounds like almost any, loser who has a fucking diaper fetish. Are you talking about fucking Knothole resident?
There we go.
The guy who made the big stink over the Sonic fucking 4 trailer because Sonic had green eyes.
Yeah, that's the guy.
He just bitched and pissed and moaned, and then finally he and then suddenly then all of his like videos and images and shit of him in diapers and acting like a baby and doing all this weird age fucking play shit all started coming out. Ugh. God, what a creepy he just such a creepy fucker, man. He really was.
Is he even still around?
I have no idea. The saddest part about all that is I actually used to talk to him for a while, because I actually got like brought into a call with him, and he seemed kind of fine at first, and then suddenly he started talking about his issues with SPACs, and all of a sudden then he wouldn't shut up about SPACs, and then he wouldn't shut up about Sonic, and then I just kind of walked away from all of that. And then all of the Sonic 4 shit happened, and then all the diaper play shit happened, and then I'm just happy I don't talk to him anymore, because fucker seems creepy as shit.
Yeah, I talked to him once, and he seemed normal, and then I found out a bunch of stuff about him, and
then suddenly he doesn't seem as normal.
Yeah.
Suddenly he seems out of his fucking gourd.
That's a light way of putting it.
What are your thoughts on the upcoming Batman Return of the Caped Crusaders? Well, I have that one like pre-ordered, so. David, do you have any thoughts on Do you have any thoughts on the upcoming animated Batman movie?
Is it gonna have Mark Hamill?
No. This one here stars Adam West and Burt Ward as Batman and Robin.
Oh, really?
Yes. It actually is essentially an animated continuation of the 60s show. They also got back, was it Julie fucking Newmar as Catwoman? Yeah, no, wait. Was it Julie Newmar or was it Lee fucking Merriweather who they got for this animated film? Well, they got one of them for Catwoman. So yeah, that's fucking amazing. I'm fucking loving that.
Mark Hamill should be given his own TV show.
Wasn't he given his own show?
And it should be called A Slice of Hamill.
That title, wow. That 5 fucking minutes of Kevin fucking Can Wait kind of got to you, didn't it?
Yes, watch out for my guest appearance on Kevin Can Wait. Later this season, I'll be writing all my own dialogue.
You're gonna walk in, hey Kevin, I bought you some fucking moose nuts.
And Kevin will look at me and say, "Oh, come on, Dave, what are you, nuts?"
Oh, fuck me, Dad. Just... It really is shocking, the things that wind up making it on TV. Just, wow. David, whenever you have recorded farts on camera, have you ever fucking sharted? Or have you ever
Yeah,
shat yourself?
I did once. It was a video that I sent to my cousin Mike.
I was about to say, it sure as shit wasn't like one of like the 17 you sent me. Because you would have probably went, oh, ew, that one there was sort of wet.
You still have that video?
I think
I know
I
you.
might. I deleted. I mean, I took it off YouTube when you asked me, but I might. I'm not sure. Let me see if I can find it quick. It'd be in my. Oh wait, yeah, it actually would be on my fucking external hard drive if it's anywhere, because store all my videos on a like terabyte external drive. Hang on a minute, I will find out for you. Let's just plug this little fucker in. 754 gigabytes free. Other YouTube videos. Here we go. Let's see here. A boy in his butt. Virgil. Vote for reaction review episode 400. I don't seem to have that one anymore. Man, that sucks.
If you don't, it's no big deal.
Oh, well, dude, I mean, I actually, was thinking about maybe, like, watching it again, because it's been a while. Just...
Yeah, I remember my mom finding that video and freaking out.
Ride like the wind bullseye.
Some of those were painful. I've recorded over 250 of my farts.
Oh, Jesus.
And I've sent them all to my cousin Mike.
Wow.
I remember my mom finding those videos and freaking out. She saw the fart videos, and then she saw the video where I told a really long, disgusting story about Big Al.
Yeah, I actually happen to remember that, video. Just...
She said she was sitting there crying the whole time she was watching it.
Well, dude, a lot of people were crying while watching it, but I thought it was more just I'm fucking laughing at it, so...
It was a true story, too.
Of course it was. Alright, so let me see what else we got here for questions. My god, we've been streaming for at least, let's see here, according to fucking OBS, it's been 2 hours and 17 minutes.
Oh, really?
It's been about 2 hours and 16 according to the YouTube video itself, so... So, let's see here. David, your thoughts on the Marshall Tucker Band?
Fuck those guys. I can't believe they're still around. Well, it's only one guy from the original lineup. The rest of them were a bunch of replacement hacks.
I still happen to remember when all of us were in New York, and you leaned your head out the window and you shouted at somebody on the sidewalk, "Hey you, old man, are you familiar with the Marshall Tucker Band?" Mind you, guys, I believe we were on like the 7th story.
Yeah, something like that.
So David is 7 floors up, shouting at people on the street. And the front desk had to send up somebody and tell us to knock it off.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of that.
It was definitely a different kind of a night. Well, different. I mean, it was certainly a fun 2 weeks, but just that night, because I believe that was the first night too. That wasn't even us there 3, maybe 4 days. No, it was you shouting at people first day. So
yeah, it was that night.
Yep.
And then Rachel, when she arrived, she went completely nutsoid, and we got the front desk called us on again.
Yeah. Let's see. Don't mind me, I'm also checking a few other things. So I'm just looking at fucking shit on Amazon. I'm looking at stuff on my email. I'm just checking a little bit of I'm just checking a bunch of shit as we're talking. So
let's delete a bunch of your emails, Hillary Clinton.
Well, no. Actually, yeah, I did, except they were thanking me for my purchase of Star Wars fucking Battlefront. Like, I don't need that.
Oh.
I already fucking know I threw down the $70 to get the game in the season pass, so I'm good. Let's see. Are you still playing with that thing, dude?
I'm still learning.
It answered you.
Well,
When you said, "Are you still playing with that thing?" It answered you.
I'm still learning. Little special ed thing, you.
There you go. I'm petting her right now because she's special.
Alexa is just Siri with Down syndrome. Down syndrome so bad it's also got up, right, and left syndrome too.
Got every direction.
Yeah. I really, really, really wish I could claim fucking credit on that joke, but I lifted that from Most Offensive Video. It's a pretty cool thing. I'm not sure how many of you guys are familiar with that site, Most Offensive Video. I'm not even sure if the site is still around, but their big thing, and you can find all of these on YouTube. I fucking love these. They took fucking like Charlie Brown specials, and they fucking dubbed them so that way then the characters are all fucking black. And Marcy has been redubbed as a full blown fucking retard. And at one point, Peppermint Patty comments that Marcy has Down syndrome so bad she has upright and left syndrome too. So yeah. And if you guys really want to know like the best of those most offensive Charlie Brown videos, you just have to do a YouTube search for Jackie Robinson was the first black baseball player, Charlie Brown. That one's probably the funniest.
The title's funny alone.
Yeah, well, see, and like the other ones are like Beware the fucking Easter nigga Charlie Brown.
Well,
yeah, that one there's kind of like a direct one. God, what in the hell were the other ones? It's the very first one I think was like a Charlie Brown fucking Kwanzaa. That one there is kind of weak, but do I know Milo Yiannopoulos? No, I don't. I have never had the opportunity to speak to Milo or pretty much anybody else who's in Milo's circle outside of Jim. I've talked to Jim a couple of times. I actually have tried to get Jim onto this stream, and I've also told him that if he ever needs guests for the fucking Metacast, he can just message me. I'll be totally there. But no, I do not know Milo personally. I've never read any of his articles. I don't follow him on Twitter. I basically just know that Milo is gay. That's really about the only thing I really know about him.
now, Jim, you're referring to Jim 81 Jim, right?
Yes, I am. I'm talking about Jim 81 Jim, or Midlife Jim, or Games Good, Me Bad, or Mr. fucking Mediker, or any of the other screen names he has gone by low these many years. Do I like Milo despite him supporting Trump? Again, I don't know anything about Milo. I have never read a single one of his articles. I've never read a single one of his tweets. I just know that he's out there, and whatever in the hell he wants to say, and whoever the hell he wants to support in terms of the presidential race, it really doesn't matter to me. So if he seriously wants to if he really wants to support Trump, that's totally fine. That's totally cool. So will I ever have David guest reaction and review with me? I'm probably never going to have a guest on reaction and review. I'm just going to say that straight up. That show seems to function fine solo. I really don't want to try to add people to it. You know what I mean?
What about What about like your brother's co-host when he was trying to do his own movie reviews?
I barely fucking remember his videos, man. I honestly am not even sure if he still has those up.
I don't think so, because I was looking for him the other day. Martin and Zach at the movies.
There we go. Yeah,
I'm sure
I couldn't even fucking think of his co-host's name.
you wouldn't do like a review with Zach.
No, and that's just because I don't know Zach. Because I don't know. I honestly don't know any of Martin's friends. In all seriousness. Let's see here. Well, we've been doing this for almost 2.5 hours. I guess it's about time we wound down. So anyway, guys, this here then is last fucking call for questions. So bring them in and ask away. Have I ever been an extra in a movie? No, I haven't. The closest is no, technically I was a friggin' extra in, I believe my friend Rich was working on a project, and he needed people to do, like, zombie sounds. So I sent him just this, like, file of me just groaning and moaning like a fucking zombie. I believe he did use part of that. It was for some kind of, like, a Walking fucking Dead thing, and it wasn't actually for the series proper, but I count that as being technically an extra. It wasn't in a movie, but it was still something. Whatever happened to fucking Boomstick? That's a really good question. I have no idea what happened to Boomstick.
I still talk to him every now and then on Facebook.
Really?
Yeah.
How is he? Because I haven't talked to him in fucking years.
He seems to be doing pretty well for himself. He's just kind of living a normal life now.
I mean, shit. Like, he honestly someone else I would love to bring on this show, just because, it's fucking Boomstick, and Boomstick was awesome.
Yeah, I enjoyed his videos. He kind of started the whole commenting on people's videos craze for a while.
Well, I mean, he actually was sort of the one who set the tone of, of using fucking, like, Pokemon images for you. So, it's like, so he kind of started when he did the whole fucking, like, Pikachu thing, and then we saw other people doing other things with, like, Pokemon and Digimon and anime characters and all this other shit, so Boomy is kind of the one who started that, so.
Boomy.
Let's see here. Arliss or Alf?
Those are like the two most random shows you could put up against each other.
A little bit, yes.
Gosh. I saw like one episode of Arliss like 15 years ago, back when we still had HBO, and
Really? You've only seen one episode of Arliss? Shit. Arliss I thought was kind of decent, but if I really had to pick, if somebody just like sat me down and said, "Look, you have to watch 6 hours of Arliss or 6 hours of Alf, pick one," I'd probably have to go with Alf.
yeah, I think I'd choose Alf too, just because I've seen a lot more of it than I have Arliss.
Well, plus also Alf just had a bit more going for it because Arliss was just sports fucking references for 30 minutes. So
I remember there's this parody infomercial on like Mad TV or something. This parody infomercial for the show Arliss, where this woman's complaining, I'm tired of watching smartly written sitcoms that cause me to pee my pants every time I laugh. So now I watch Arliss. Keeps my pants dry or something like that.
do you want to know what the stupidest thing is I ever saw, which had to do with fucking Arliss?
What?
Okay, so there was an episode of the show, and it featured a bunch of WCW wrestlers. As a means of trying to advertise that episode of Arliss, Robert fucking Wall appeared on an episode of, I believe it was WCW Nitro, in character as fucking Arliss and did commentary for a match.
Wow.
And he shit on the match and he shit on the company the whole fucking time. So it really wasn't fucking endearing wrestling fans to tune into a show.
Yeah, I would think.
The thing is that he was in character, so naturally he was going to shit all over it because that's what Arliss Michaels would do if put into that situation. So it's like, oh my god.
I'm sure not a whole lot of wrestling fans were big fans of Arliss.
Like that episode, I know it guest starred like I know for a fact it guest starred like Randy Savage was in there. I think along with like I'm trying to remember who else was all in the episode. The thing is though is that the match that Wall came in and did fucking commentary on didn't feature any of the guest stars from that episode of Arliss, if memory serves.
Wow.
So he honestly couldn't say, "Oh yeah, and AMM is now fucking managing Randy Savage, and and Randy Savage is kind of a bitch." No, we didn't. No, we don't get to hear any of that. I think he might have been commentating like a cruiserweight match between, I think it was like Juventud Guerrera and like Billy Kidman or some such shit, and it was a fucking disaster. It was pretty bad. Oh, shit. Okay, so let's see. Any other questions we can close out on here? Weirdest thing you have come across on Amazon?
You could buy a 55-gallon can of lube.
Okay.
It's like you ever see like those industrial like
Jesus
cans?
fuck, dude.
It's like $1,000.
$1,290.30. I just, when you mentioned it, I honest to God thought that you were full of shit, so I wanted to check.
And it weighs like 500 pounds.
Yeah, see, it doesn't have a fucking weight on here. It just 55-gallon drum of lube. Just Jesus fucking Christ. And I believe I've just found something which tops that. Because
Really?
okay, because you kind of know how at the bottom customers who viewed this item also viewed, like the third item in is infant circumcision trainer, white.
Jeez. Amazon.
And it's literally just a little plastic baby, like baby crotch with dicks that you hook in. And I guess you practice your circumcisions before the time comes. This is great for it, and apparently it's great for nursing and therapy students.
Oh shit! It's almost 10:30. I better get going.
Yeah, because you have to get to work, right?
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. So, and I just sent you the link if you want to see the infant circumcision trainer. Just
Awesome. Now I'll have something else I can send to Al.
for $192.
Good deal. Anyway,
Jesus Christ.
I'll see you guys later on.
All right, dude. Take care.
Say goodbye, Alexa.
Goodbye.
My God, it actually worked again. That's well. Then there goes David, and after seeing that circumcision trainer, that just Jesus Christ, that's gonna give me nightmares. Just Jesus Christ, Amazon. And because I was stupid enough to click on it, the fucking thing is now in my browsing history. That's oh boy, the hits just keep on coming. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this installment of Shooting the Shit with Emer. I would like to thank David for joining me for 2.5 hours of random awesome fun. I'd like to thank all of you guys for coming out and joining me, because this is always a great time. And as always, if you guys have any questions, comments, by all means leave them. I am always down to hear from you guys. It's always fun. It is always awesome, and it is always a pleasure. So until next time, guys, take care, and I will see you all in the near future. Peace.